I need human skin. I need human skin. Welcome back everybody to a very interesting video. Today, we're gonna check out an analog horror that you guys have requested called Under Mountain Ebott. Now, if it wasn't clear, this analog horror is inspired by Undertale, which is one of my all-time favorite games, so I'm really excited to see what this is all about. As always, be sure to check out the creator of this analog horror. Their channel is linked in the description below. And if you do enjoy this video, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. So we have a playlist here that has every single video in chronological order, but there is one video missing that we're gonna check out at the end. The Great Disaster. This is like half an hour long. So we're just gonna go for the first, and we have, should we translate? Winding's translator. If I paste this in, it says, I know you have a lot of questions, like where you are and who are these creatures, but trust me, the deeper you will go, the more answers you will get. As of now, I'll leave you with this tape as it tells quite a small but important part of the whole story. This tape is 200 years old and was damaged after so much time had passed, but I fixed it a little for you, at least to understand what it shows and tells. I like this so far. Let's just full screen this and go straight for it. So the videos are uploaded in a different order, but basically we're watching it in the chronological order. That's Deltarune. That's Deltarune flag, isn't it? Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure that's Deltarune.
Welcome to the history of monsterkind. In this informative film, we will tell you the chronological history of our kind trapped in the underground, from the times we ruled the earth to the present day. Prepare yourself for quite the ride into our history.
Okay. So 980, that's after Christ, right?
Long time ago, monsters ruled the overworld with another race called humans.
Yeah, we know that, and then they got cast in because one of the humans died, right?
Races ruled the earth in peace and harmony. Unfortunately, it didn't last forever. A long and brutal war sparked between the two races, where humans were victorious. The rest of the monsters that weren't killed in the flames of war were sent down under the Mount Ebott. Humans with a magic spell sealed the only way out of the underground with a magical barrier that haven't been removed to this day. Reasons for it being the magic that is too complicated and strong to be removed by the magic of monsters.
And then you need like the 7 human souls, right?
Slowly adapted to the new habitat and built a new civilization that the world has never seen before.
So that's what, 600 years later, right?
The capital city was soon built near the barrier, so that monsters could live and look at the sealed exit with hope of getting out one day. A century later, monsters went deeper into the underground. Surprisingly, the underground was much bigger than our ancestors thought, making them go more deeper and inhabiting more areas.
I mean, that's good though, so they can like have space for everything.
The second capital city was soon built in the deeper part of the
waterfall. I can see the core, waterfall, Snowdin town, the castle, and what is on the left side? Wait, don't you start from the castle? You start from the castle, you go to Snowdin, then you go to waterfall, then you go to the core, and then you go to capital. What is everything on the left side? Have I forgotten something?
So that monsters could not also live but explore more parts of the underground without having to walk long distances from the old capital.
Okay.
Despite being trapped in the underground, with the help of the magic, the new nation quickly became habitable for all inhabitants.
How are they even gonna get sunlight all the way down there?
Many inhabitable places were terraformed to the great places to live. The waterfall for the sea lovers, Hotland for hot folks, and
so they use
cold weather.
Oh, so they use the magic to keep themselves safe, like hot, and that's 100 years later. Was that a secret? So they use magic to basically make sure that they can live in those areas. Just like you have Hotland, Snowdin, Waterfall, and so on. That's actually kind of clever.
Our civilization became more and more advanced. In the early 1500s, the building of the most important structure in the underground has begun. This structure heats the entire underground, filters the air, and also works as a storage facility and also as a magic generator.
And that was probably where all the souls were held. Yeah, in Hotlands,
in every part of the underground without worrying about anything. The core spreads such things as food and electricity through the entire underground.
Nice.
Making the life of our kind easier. Without the creation of the core, monsters wouldn't have evolved that much and that fast in such things like magic and technology. And maybe even without it, we would have been evolved into much more different creatures than what we are today. Considering that we as species, we evolve much faster than, for example, humans.
Okay.
Our evolution obviously also depends on the place where we live and the conditions of the place.
But considering that they made that in such a short time is actually insane.
The underground is a prosperous, beautiful, and a great place not only to live, but to wait for the day when our kind will finally be freed from the underground and finally see the sun above our heads again. That day will come, and monsters will prevail once again. Thank you for your attention, and have a great time. May the Lord save us and help us rise again.
I mean, that's still really good that they managed to do that in what, like 400 years? 900, 1600. So in about 600 years, they managed to like form an entire civilization. I mean, that's kind of the same with like humans, right? Oh. I mean, it's kind of like the same with humans that we also formed the civilization like super quickly, but the fact that they got, you know, so if we, when is like the earliest time that civilization formed? That's like, you know, 600? No, I'm dumb. After Jesus, we still had a civilization, right? But it took us about 2,000 years to make electricity, where it only took the monsters like 600 years. So the monsters are basically twice as capable and they're faster, they're England is my city. They are double as efficient as humans are, is what I'm trying to say. They are double the faster, yes. We're gonna go for episode 2, so we know that the reactor was having a reaction. And now we're gonna see, we have more wingdings. Hold on. Let me translate the wingdings real quick. I saw this world die with my own 2 eyes, and so will you see what happened here. Okay. What do we have? First of all, what do we see here? That's probably Asriel and Asgore. And it's still the Deltarune logo.
On the 14th of May, 1945, the kingdom of monsterkind got its new ruler.
1945, okay.
On this day, His Majesty Prince Asgore Dreamer and his wife, Her Majesty Princess Toriel Dreamer, were coronated in the Hockland Cathedral, located in the central square of the capital. From this day, the kingdom is under the control and protection of His Royal Highness, King Asgore the First. May the Lord save the king.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah. I know it's... Wait, but that's like the old kingdom, right? That's the old capital. Because that's what you walk through when you're like done with the game and you gotta face Asriel or Asgore, I mean. Yeah, that is the old kingdom. Or, in this case, the new kingdom. So when does it happen? When does it all... Long live our King Asgore the First? Yeah, but when does it happen? Jesus Christ, man. The fire is too strong. We don't have enough water to put it out. We could have gotten the water from Waterfall, since the region has enough water to put out the 2 fires larger than the one we're dealing with. Heck, the whole underground should be helping us put the fire out, but no. The king doesn't let us get the water from Waterfall, since it will waste the water supplies of the neighboring region, and that this fire isn't much of a threat as we Hotlanders describe it? Does he even see what is happening here? The whole Hotland turned into one massive bonfire. Everything is burning, even the waterfall and the cities near the old capital are on fire, but this bastard is hiding in his palace and doesn't see what is going on. He probably doesn't even know that soon this whole disaster will affect every living soul. Why doesn't Asgore do anything about it? 1 week after the explosion, so that's... Oh! Oh, hold on. So that's 1 week after the core exploded and Hotland was set ablaze, and then the fire spread to the neighboring regions, and now we know what happens after 1 week. So you have Asgore the first, and then Toriel. Are they even gonna be? Is that why?
Are you okay?
That's why Toriel left.
I'm not. For the past 2 weeks, I've been trying to come up with any ideas on how to fix the situation, yet no good ideas come up in my head.
Well, Tori, you shouldn't stress out that much. You need to rest. You've been looking awfully exhausted lately.
I can't rest.
Not when the fire is here.
Asgore, do you even realize what is happening? The core is gone. It exploded, and 2/3 of the territory of Hotland is in ruins from the shockwave of fire. And that's not it. The whole underground is suffering from the migration crisis. The civilians from Hotland are running to the waterfall or the capital. There are dozens of monsters stuck on the border of the capital because there are just too much of them coming. There have been also high numbers of clashes between the civilians and the guards. Oh, and how could I forget? Since the core is gone, magic is now dangerously limited. Without the core, we can't generate food or magic.
Yeah.
We can't have electricity or filtration of the air.
But we don't need core to make food.
Asgore,
No.
do you really
No.
not understand the whole situation? Are you really that ignorant and not?
Is he really gonna go to cannibalism? Be like, yo, you know, we don't need electricity. Let's just eat our teammates. Is he really like that? Is he really that desperate?
What about the electricity? Without it, you can't make anything nowadays. There have been reports of monsters suffering from famine in the most distant parts of the underground because not only they don't have any connections with the core, but also they are suffering from the loss of electricity. They are starving. The monsters are starving. And I am trying to come up with any idea on how to fix all of this, which is weird. Since you are the ruler of the underground, you should be the one thinking about how to fix that.
I ordered to organize the refugee camps, also the evacuation centers in Hotland so that there will be less injured civilians.
Right.
Did you think about the core? Did you think about how to bring the electricity back? Did you think about how to save your people from starvation?
I did, but I...
What do you mean, what? You didn't think of that? Look at me! I've been eating as little as possible so that Chara and Asriel could eat more. And you didn't think of how to make something so that everyone could eat as much as they want.
Toya, I'm trying.
You don't give a shit about your own people.
That's not true.
Oh, it's Asriel.
Nothing serious, dear. Go back to sleep now. I will evacuate.
But I don't understand, like, I feel like he should be able to, like, use the resources from the neighboring regions to, like, put out the fire. And since, waterfall is infinite, right? The water probably comes from somewhere else, so it should just be, like, you know, nothing is necessarily infinite, but there should be enough supply to put out the fire and put out everything, is what I'm saying.
Go back to sleep now. I will evacuate everyone from Hotland, and then order the royal scientists to find any solution to fix the core.
I wish I could believe you, Asgore.
Oh, thank you, Jay. 2 weeks after the explosion, so do they still have problems? Was that something there? No, it's just static, okay. I love that song so much. NBC News. Metaton News, right?
Welcome back to the daily news of the underground. It's been 2 weeks since the explosion of the core.
Wildfire caused
Since
by the
that
core
wildfire
approaching
event,
the...
the casualties have grew from 100 to 10,000 across the underground.
Jesus, 10,000 monsters?
85% of the buildings in all of the underground, including the 2 capital cities, have been suffering from the electricity loss. Since it is heavily limited and is only used in some of the busiest and most important parts of the 2 capitals.
3 bodies of unidentified monsters found near the border of Snowdin and Waterfall. Each body had several burns. Oh my... Jesus Christ.
It's reported that the flu and cholera pandemic has broken out, and the regions that were the most affected by the crisis, lack of food, electricity, magic, and other important supplies have caused
So you have the entire Hotland, map of the underground and its regions affected by the Hotland disaster. Okay, red is severe destruction from explosion fire, yellow is less severe, and then you have green is epidemic breakout. So there's an epidemic breakout in the... Oh, so there's an epidemic in Snowdin, epidemic in the lower left corner, epidemic in the starting area, and then epidemic at the capital. Hotland is basically evacuated, and then all of the exits are of course yellow.
The most severe humanitarian crisis that our kind has never seen before. The royal scientists have been working hard on trying to restore the core, but it can take years for the core to finally be fully restored. Considering what is happening right now in the underground, it seems like a lot of monsters won't live long for that moment. And we wonder, what we will do now? How are we gonna live? This is the question that everyone is asking.
But isn't it gonna burn? It's gonna burn out at some point, right?
And unfortunately, the worst case scenario is that we will go back to the Stone Age. Or even maybe,
Yeah.
at that time, there won't be anyone left.
But isn't Hotland just gonna like burn out at some point? Right, it can't just like keep on burning. And also, you can't just put out an electric fire with, like, water. Like, you gotta... Attention, the following material is suitable only for members of the royal family. Seeing the upcoming material without the personal permission is strictly prohibited. Whoa. Okay, so we got early access to some raw footage.
After a long time of suffering, when we thought it couldn't get worse, another tragedy happened in the royal family.
That's...
Chara Dreamer, human that was adopted by the royal family, got terribly sick by flu. A week later, Chara Dreamer passed away from the virus that was too strong for Chara's already weakened organism. The king and queen are mourning the loss. The child of man was buried underneath the golden flowers with the view to the sky, in royal family's private garden. These flowers were deeply loved by Chara. Now she can finally rest in peace right underneath her favorite flowers.
I want to play Undertale again now.
Chara Dreamer.
I want to play Undertale again now. Oh my god, it's such a good game. But then Asriel follows right after, and then divorce. Right? One month. Oh my. But hasn't it been a month? It's been... No, wait. It was 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and now we know it's a... Oh! Is that Asriel? That... Hey, yo, hey, buddy. Are you sick? Are you got the flu? I can't take it anymore. Everything is getting worse. The whole underground is suffering from epidemics and famine. I lost my child. I am starving. Is that Toriel? I want to eat. They're gonna actually go to cannibalism now. They're gonna turn to cannibalism. That's gotta be Toriel. I want to eat. She's gonna... You don't think she's gonna eat Asgore, right? That is definitely Toriel with the horns and everything. Do you think she's gonna eat her son? Do you think she's gonna eat Asriel? I can fix her, you can definitely not fix her, dude.
Tori, I'm home. I was talking with Dr. Alphys and it seems like we can fix the core earlier than we thought. We could finish it before we will lose more of our civilians.
She's eating their son. She's eating their son. I know. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Is anyone home?
This kind of gives me like Walton Files vibes in terms of like the graphics. He's gonna open the door and then Toriel is like...
Oh, Tori, here you are. Did you hear what I told you?
I told you she would eat Asriel! Oh my god, I was right! So when I thought that Asgore... When I said that Asgore was gonna turn to cannibalism, Toriel was the first one to turn. That is so messed up. But is he still gonna turn into a flower? So, maybe this is different. The following audio is the last song that the underground siren played before going completely silent. The song is about hope and dreams of the monsters and that one day that they will leave the underground. So, maybe this is different because I'm pretty sure that in Undertale, Toriel leaves Asgore. So I can imagine in this round here, it's Asgore leaving Toriel. The queen ate her own child despite the dislike towards the royal family among the civilians. Is still shocked a lot of people. King Asgore ordered the guards to deport Queen Toriel and lock her in the new capital of the city that was slowly turning into abandoned ruins. Okay, so she moved into the ruins, yeah. The king himself fell into severe depression. He isolated himself from everyone and everything by locking himself in his own throne hall. Nobody saw him in person again. The royal family is gone. The kingdom of monster kind is gone. What a saddening end to such a powerful race. This can't be the end. This is just the beginning, right? I mean, it's the beginning of the end, but more's gonna happen, right? Toriel? This is suddenly getting very, very interesting. It was the day when the underground went silent, leaving the monsters to deform? Oh, so this is the beginning of the end! Hymn of Hope is a composition that was written somewhere in the 70s or 1800s. It was adapted as a national anthem before being adopted as one of the most important and famous That's not the one. That's not the one, is it? The song itself tells about I'm putting on my glasses, guys. You already know that I'm a little bit dyslexic, so glasses go on. The song itself tells about the unbreakable hope of the monster kind of getting out one day from the trap in the underground, from being trapped from the trap in the underground, that the monsters will prevail and that the humanity will fall when monsters will eventually come back up into the human world. The following audio is the last recording of the Hymn of Hope that the megaphones from all across the underground played. After that, the megaphones and the radio stations went completely silent. Alright.
get there, one must reign on earth. May the Lord save our kind. May the Lord keep the light of hope shining for us, and help us go through this difficult journey to the surface, so that we can see the sun again.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting, okay. Even to this day, you can hear the king cries. But I'm wondering how long it's been. Like, we know it's been a month. We know it's been a month since the core burned down. It's been a month since the core burned down, and we have had one case of cannibalism so far. So the entire city shut down, the sirens blared, and then nothing happened. And then we're gonna figure out what happens here. Bravery ended somewhere in Waterfall. It's a short one. This looks like almost like a VR chat map. I'm pretty sure I've either played this before or I've seen this before. Is this supposed to be Frisk moving forward? I'm pretty sure this could be Frisk. Oh, it's just one of the flowers. It's just one of the flowers. That's fine. That's totally fine. I was like, what the hell is that? Okay. Ah! That was not really... Yo, game over. Do you want to try again, buddy? Jesus. No, that straight up scared me. That scared the hell out of me. Mountain Ebott disappearances. For the past few years, 7 people have disappeared on the territory of Mount Ebott. Police didn't find any clues in the mountain, making people believe that missing people are somewhere under the mountain. The thing that disturbs people the most is that Mountain Ebott is, according to historical records, the place where monsters have been sealed long ago. So if the missing people are underneath the mountain, they might just get caught by monsters. Who knows what those monsters look and act like nowadays, and what they might do. Cannibalism. Is every single one of them gonna turn to capitalism? Are they all gonna become capitalists? Are they all gonna become cannibals? For the past 7 people has reported missing on Mountain Ebott. The 7th person went missing on... So that's 15th of June? September. The police has been trying to find any clues in the missing people around the mountain, but they seem like nothing useful has been found. The last and possibly worst theory were that the missing people might be dead. That they fell into the hole on top of the mountain. The depth of the holes is estimated to be 1,000 feet. That means that the chance of survival is not guaranteed. But even if some of them survived, it's unlikely that they will survive for long down there without food or water. But then there is one more thing about this whole story, specifically about Ebott. Long ago, 2 races ruled the earth, humans and monsters. One day, war broke out between the 2 races. After a long battle, the humans were victorious. The seal the monsters underground with a magic spell. If monsters are still down there after such a long time, it could be a possibility that they wouldn't be friendly towards humans, friendly towards humans anymore. Or even maybe those monsters changed over time living underground to more primal behavior. Capitalism. Yeah. I mean, considering that they actually... Considering that they actually made a civilization in the underground, and somehow, you know, when the core... Wouldn't some of them turn to cannibalism before that? Because if they somehow made a civilization with electricity, water, and food, and they were living in pain... Not in pain, they were living peacefully. But then after something happened and the core exploded, then they turned into, like, you know, primal beast that, you know, that dabbled in capitalism. I'm kidding. We have another. This is outdated. I don't understand why this one is outdated, but we can still check it anyways and see what this is all about. This is called Through the Forest. Is this still working? Oh, it does. Thank you. Thank goodness. Anyways, hello to whoever you are. I highly doubt that someone will ever find this. My name is Frisk. And I am the 7th person who is now missing on Mount Ebott. Here's a small self-portrait I made. Aw, cute, I like that. Now, you may ask me how and why I went to Ebott. It's a long story. The main thing is that I'm alive and well. Well, at least for now. You see, this place is filled with some terrifying creatures. The first one I discovered was a large 8 feet tall goat-like creature. She called herself Toriel. Here is what she looks like. Oh. She brought me to her old and dusty house. That's where I found what? That's where I found the camera. She seemed nice and friendly, but then she announced the dinner time, and her dinner was me. I, thanks to incredible luck, ran out from the house into the snowy forest. I walked through it for some time thinking I was safe. But then I heard something. A papyrus? Or is it the dog? I took a photo of what was making the noise. Or is it Sans? Yep, that's Sans. I had a fun time running from that thing. It is Sans. So far, I had hid behind a rock and thankfully it didn't saw me. I took a photo of it walking away to get a better view, and it's like, I got the new forges on the... I'm pretty sure that is Sans, right? Or is it Bigfoot? That could just be Bigfoot. How did it not see me? I have no idea. I'm going deeper into the forest. Hopefully I'll find an exit from this place. See you. Hopefully. I really like how twisted this is so far. That, you know, instead of the underground living in peace and harmony and everything being perfect, it's just like, I need to eat. Give me meat. Give me meat. We got wingdings? I'm pretty sure this is more wingdings, right? Let me check it out real quick. You are different. Different from other fallen humans. The other humans lacked something that you have. Determination. You have the determination to leave this place. It's very interesting to see. I'll keep an eye on you. So who is Flowey? Flowey is keeping an eye on us, most likely. Snowdin Woods? Hello again. I can't believe I am actually sitting right now and recording this. Just around 50 minutes ago, I was sure I would be dead meat. Anyways, I'll tell you everything what happened today. I went deeper into the forest. After some time, I found a place called Snowdin. Whatever this place is, I went down that way. On my way, I saw a lot of some broken booths and small abandoned nuts. Then I looked to the forest, looked to the trees around me. Some of them looked weird. And I thought it was my imagination, but I really saw the trees moving. Not like moving because of the wind, but they were moving. Like they were alive. I took my camera and took a photo. Oh, I don't think that's a tree. That's most papyrus. Wait, that was papyrus. That's papyrus. That's papyrus. Right? Right? It's so cold. Why is it so cold? Sand said the human skin is warm. I need human skin. I need human skin. I need human skin. Ah! That skeleton-looking thing started running towards me and screaming. It was fast, way faster than the previous monster. It could catch me easily. I ran into the part of the forest where the trees were much closer to each other. That monster was not only very tall, but it had difficulties to move its body, thus dodging many trees and was struggling to task it. I ran as fast as I could until I saw a silhouette of buildings. It was a small town. There was a sign. It said, "Welcome to Snowdin." Looking at the town, it seemed like the once bustling town, for some reason it was abandoned. It gave me some weird feelings of nostalgia for a place that I've never visited before. Right now I'm inside what is supposed to be a small restaurant, Grillby's. Hopefully nothing will find me for at least an hour. Why an hour? I'll tell more later after I leave Snowdin and continue my journey. Why for an hour specifically? See you. Oh, I really like where this is going right now. But that means next time we're most likely gonna meet Undyne. We're gonna meet Undyne in Waterfall. And then we're gonna make our way to Hotland. And what's gonna happen when we enter Hotland? The next one is called Investigation. After a few weeks since the disappearance of the seventh person, an investigation group of police and professional cavers were sent into Ebott to find at least any clues of missing people. Instead of finding missing people, the cavers found something else. The creature. The following tape is for use by members of the Redacted only. Any information given in this tape is strictly confidential. Copying, sharing with unauthorized users, recording the audio or video, exhibition or reproducing this tape is strictly prohibited. Let's see what these creatures are all about. After a few weeks since the disappearance of Redacted, the seventh person of the territory of Ebott, the Redacted Police Department sent an investigation group and caving experts to inside Ebott to find at least any clues of the missing people. Oh, dude, I love Undertale OST so bad. The caving experts that joined the investigations were Scott Blank and Jeffrey Blank. They were equipped with every important caving gear. Scott was given a camera and a microphone to communicate with the officer Connor Blank. The rest of the members waited on the top of Mount Ebott and watched everything Scott got on camera through the computer that connected the two devices. Okay, the following audio is the conversation between Connor and Scott during the investigation. Oh, Mandela Catalog. This is giving me Mandela Catalog vibes. That means that Asriel is gonna appear. Bum, 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 bum. Wait, Toriel. Toriel. Toriel is gonna eat. Toriel is gonna eat them.
Officer Connor? Yes. Do you know the whole history about monsters inside Mount Ebott? Could be possible that they're down there, but let's give you a difference in the mountain. Roger that. There's a large hole with a small light peeking from the hole above us. There's another gate. The thing I mentioned earlier, but please proceed with caution. Understood.
Yeah, that's the gate that leads to the tutorial area, right? So they're in the house now. You find bones, human remains, right? Which hole? Which hole are we talking about? The holes underground? The holes under the house? I'm pretty sure I see a person there. I see bunny ears, right? But is this underneath the house? Because I remember when you are about to leave Toriel, there's like a big hallway under the house that leads to basically the beginning of Snowdin, or like before you go into to Snowdin. But there's also a big hallway, the one where Toriel leaves you, and you have to like sprint for it. That's the two hallways that I remember before you get into Snowdin. So if I remember correctly, right? If you go straight ahead, that's the spider. That's where you can donate spiders, you can donate money, you can get a donut. But if you go left, that is when you go into the house. That is when you go to Toriel's house. So these are probably the pillars. Yeah, definitely. You need an entire, like, squad team down there. Toriel. You forgot about Toriel. That's gotta be the house. Toriel. They're cooked. They're cooked. They're cooked. Uh-oh. 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 Oh my god. Oh, he's gonna die now, definitely. He's panicking way too much. Oh, he's panicking. He's dead meat already. He's panicking way too much. And Jeffy's over, and that means that Toriel is gonna find you. I like this so far. The following images are the last photos that Scott took before the communication with him was lost. pillars. So he was like running away from the tutorial area. Yeah. I like this so far. I'm gonna be honest, right? The intro or like the first couple of episodes was a little bit too like, you know, you gotta get into the story. It's just like Game of Thrones. Like the first 10 episodes of Game of Thrones are like so boring, but they have all of the nudities and the sexy actors to like, you know, keep you engaged. And then from season 2 and season 3, they start killing and then it's really interesting. I feel it's like kind of the same here where you need like the lore, you need the exposition dump. And then after that, it starts getting really, really interesting. We have 2 episodes left actually, because this one here that we just watched called Investigation is the last one in the timeline, but we have so many other videos. So I'm pretty sure that the Great Disaster is another video. And then we also have extras, his speech, and we have Under Mount Ebott. I'm pretty sure that we have this one here. Extras, this one, and this one. So let's go for the Great Disaster and see what this is all about. This is half an hour. This is half an hour, by the way. Monster Kind Broadcast Corporation. News of the day. His Majesty's inspirational speech.
On the 13th of March 1962, in the central square of the old capital, His Majesty King Asgore I gave a civilians a speech full of hopes and dreams. In his speech, King Asgore reminded his people that the current century marks the 1000th anniversary of the monster kind getting trapped in the underground.
This is way before the core.
He also gave a hopeful message that from now on, monsters will be actively seeking any possible way to break the barrier that keeps the monsters.
So this is like a prequel. This is like a prequel, right?
More active than during the previous rulers. Thanks to our technological achievements, we now have many ways in our pockets to try and free ourselves from the trap that we have been stuck in for a whole millennium. The people are inspired by the speech and have high hopes for the future of this nation. May the Lord bless and save the king and his people.
But then, disaster struck. The core exploded. Project Spear of Justice.
Project Spear of Justice was developed by the royal scientists by King Asgore's order. But before explaining what the project is about, we need to know how the core works. Inside the core there are 4 containers and 1 massive reactor in the middle. Each container stands for storing and delivering different important resources that the royal scientists add into them and control their amount. These resources include magic, electricity, warm water and food that can be delivered quickly from one region to another in minutes. These containers in controlled amounts send their resources into the reactor that separates and transports them into various pipes that are inside the walls and roofs of the mountain across every part of the underground. If there is imbalance between the containers, like the lack of water for example, the structure needs to be closed before the containers transport them into the main reactor. Because if the reactor gets imbalanced amount of the resources, it can cause a variety of issues, from mixing resources with each other to when the ways to the reactor are closed, the structure must be put on a low power mode, which slows the process of the core. It might be annoying to the civilians that their food is delayed, but it is for their own good. After the structure is in low power mode, the scientists use the magic from the magic container to generate the missing amount of food to make the balanced amount of the resources.
That's smart.
The magic itself is getting connected by monsters that they get to fill the container through special machines made by the scientists. Mostly the scientists themselves give their magic to fill the containers. After there is a balance.
Hello? Mr. Gaster?
Give their magic to fill the containers. After there is a balance between the resources, the core is getting turned back on the normal working mode. Now, about the Project Spear of Justice. The main objective of the project is to send a massive amount of magic from the core reactor straight into the barrier through the special pipes. Theoretically, the big amount of magic might overpower the magic that the barrier is made of, which could lead to its destruction and eventually the freedom of the monster kind.
Wait. What if the barrier actually exploded because it kind of like just parried? So they sent all of the magic and the power over to the barrier, and the barrier was like, nah, and sent it all the way back into the core itself, which is why it exploded. That could be it.
The possibility of this project to be successful is unlikely, though His Majesty is determined in its succession.
I wish I could translate this, but I'm pretty sure that the quality is so low, even though that I already have it on full HD. I don't think I can do that. I straight up don't think I can do that. April. Sparkle and Fergus. The head of command and second of command.
Okay, this then works. So, greetings. This is Dr. Fergus speaking. This tape is for educational purposes. We are pretty much making a historical event where we might have found a solution to finally break the barrier and free ourselves from the underground.
What's the solution? What's the solution? Sending magic right into it, right?
Passages of the containers of the reactor. Yes. Oh, but before I'm gonna do that, I think I really need to tell you where I was in that. Even if this project, Spear of Justice, isn't gonna work, it would still be nice to record it as one of the many experiments of ours trying to get out of this mountain. Maybe even this tape will be shown in schools as one of the many attempts of our kind trying to break free. Or maybe, if this is gonna be successful, this tape will be one of the most important pieces of evidence of our kind and our greatest achievements.
Or your greatest failure.
History. I will make history. Anyway, what I need to do... right. Turn the system to full power mode and... there we go.
Fergus, are you ready?
Yes, just 1 second.
So that's 10 minutes after.
Okay, so now we have to transport the magic from the magic container to pipe W. That connects to pipe E, which will then be delivered straight to the world, I guess.
Okay.
There, the king and the soldiers will use the pipe as a cannon of sorts to shoot straight at the barrier. We'll destroy it.
Alright.
I feel like it's gonna backfire. I feel like that's the reason why it exploded in the first place, is because they tried to use the reactor to set themselves free. Basically, they were, they had a little bit too much on their plates in order to, like, do this. It's 100% gonna backfire. Yeah.
Yes, everything's fine.
Okay, good. So now send the magic from the magic container to pipe W, which will then send to pipe E, and then pipe SE. Basically, straight to the corridor where the barrier is located. The king and the engineers already pulled the pipe from the underground. It's facing the barrier.
Oh, yeah, no.
I can barely hold my excitement. Even if this isn't gonna work, it would still be a nice try.
Yeah. But I hope this will at least weaken the barrier. I mean, we live in a very technologically advanced age, so now we have much more possibilities and opportunities.
But why don't they have more
For
cores?
example, 100
That's
years
like
ago.
Right. Okay.
because they have no backup solution. There is no backup solution.
All we need to do is to send the magic into previously set pipes.
Alright, so I'll suppress here. Locate this one right here. Okay. Everything that's at this place, you ready?
I surely am.
Here we go.
It's crazy to think that they only have one core reactor.
When it will reach the destination?
In about 5 to 10 minutes.
All right. Hey, Sparkle, you want me to bring you something to drink?
Yo, Strice holding with a raid of 59 people! We're watching Analog Horror, Undertale Analog Horror. Thank you guys.
Is everything okay?
Did you block the passages of the containers to the main reactor?
Oh, he didn't. Oh, nah. So,
What's wrong?
they're
Look at the
open.
screen. Why does it show that 3 containers released their contents into the main reactor?
So the reactor also have, like, food and water in it, right?
Fergus, that was the first thing that we needed to do. Did you forget to do that?
No,
So the first
I'm
in
sure I blocked them.
the first in command
know
messed
what
up.
could have happened?
No, Fergus! Fergus, the second in command, up hard. What a dumbass.
If the situation will not be fixed in the next 5 minutes, it will cause a meltdown inside your reactor. Turn the emergency system to shut down the core immediately.
Fergus, go and push the emergency button.
It doesn't work.
What? God damn it. This is Dr. Sparkle speaking. There is a resource imbalance in the core. And
One person.
The emergency system doesn't work.
One person broke
I need
everything.
all available scientists and engineers to go into the core and help us to fix this before it's too late. There's only me and Dr. Fergus. We need more people here.
The pressure level of the specimen within the reactor is also filled with resources. The worst is inevitable.
The pressure levels have reached its maximum point. I need all available scientists and engineers in the core now.
Now. It's over. It's over.
What's that noise?
All because one single monster didn't block off the different resources. It was his job. The photo of the first explosion taken about 5 kilometers away from the ground zeros. So that was only 5 minutes after they sent magic over to the pipe. Because one monster, King Asgore, ruling of the kingdom, because one monster didn't lock off the other resources.
The magic's supposed to arrive at this moment.
5 to 10 minutes.
Maybe there's a problem in the pipes, or maybe the royal scientists delayed the deployment.
It could be possible, but why? Everything should be working well.
But you can use the blast.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty!
Dr. Alphys, what's wrong? You don't look so good.
The core! It exploded! It's on fire!
Excuse me?
The people of Hotland don't have enough water in their region to put out the fire. They require water from neighboring waterfall region. Your Majesty, please allow them to get water from there.
But it's also an electric fire. You can't turn it off.
Oh, it's nothing, really. About the water. Why do they need the water so much that they require more water from another region?
Dude, just
I'm sure
give them
they'll be
water!
fine. The fire will be put out easily.
Dude, dumbass. You literally got a reactor exploding. Water is not gonna do anything. That's a chemical reaction. You got electricity. You can't put an electric fire out with water. It's just gonna make it way, way worse. The only way you can do it is you have like foam or anything other than that. And he's like so calm about it. He's like, guys, I feel like we're gonna survive this. Just what a complete dumbass dude. Why is he even king when he can't even rule properly?
But, Your Majesty.
I answered your requests. You were dismissed.
Your Majesty, was she serious about the core exploding? Your Majesty?
I'm sorry.
Do something.
I need some space.
He failed at his job as a king and a ruler. Called between the underground firefighting department and the hotline firefighting. But his job as a ruler failed. He was supposed to give them water. Why didn't you give them water?
Underground fire department, what's your emergency?
There was an explosion of core which caused the fire. Hotline firefighters are trying to put it down, but it doesn't go out very well. Our water supplies are running out.
Okay, let me contact you to the local hotline firefighter station.
Everyone from every single station here in Hotland is already here, but it's still not enough to put the fire down. We need more water from neighboring regions to put the fire down.
I understand. I contacted the waterfall firefighters department. The waterfall firefighters are on their way.
It has been
Can you explain what exactly happened?
The core exploded.
Everything was quiet until the core started shaking violently. We thought that it was just doing its job as usual, just a bit more active, and then suddenly alarms broke out, and then it just blows up. Just where the hell's the water from Waterfall?
It's on its way. It's gonna arrive soon.
It has been only 30 minutes and it's still not here. Just send this water from anywhere. I don't give a shit. We need the water right now. The fire is too strong.
I'm gonna go back to video number 1. Hold on. They talked about Waterfall having like enough water, right?
The waterfall for the sea lovers. Hotland for Hotfall.
Didn't they say how much that they had in Waterfall, right? Don't they have like enough water to just spare a little crumb of water, dude? The second explosion occurred at 8:26. It was as loud as everyone from the corner of the underground could not hear it, but feel the ground shaking. The royal castle.
What was that noise? Maybe it's the magic that finally...
Your Majesty! Your Majesty!
What's wrong?
The core!
I'm sorry, but haven't I told you and Dr. Alphys that I do not allow to send water from the waterfall? The fire is surely not as dangerous as people say.
Your Majesty! The core exploded again! Much stronger than before! There have already been reports of hundreds of deaths and thousands of injured people around Hotland. The shockwave from the explosion damaged some of the pipelines in other regions. Your Majesty, this is a severe disaster that is gonna affect hundreds of thousands of people, including the royal family. What are your orders?
Theory time. Asgore has an ulterior motive. He has other plans. Maybe... Okay, what's the reason for him denying them water? The reason is to basically cause chaos and then lead after that to make sure that he's like a form of dictator or like a good ruler or something like that. Maybe he's trying to like sweep under the rug that he denied water so he afterwards can open up the asylum camps and then give people a place to live. Because I don't feel like he's stupid enough at this point, right? We can give him benefit of the doubt that he's actually dumb. He's actually extremely dumb, but I believe like there is like another plan underneath. Like maybe he wants the underground to devolve back into like, you know, monsters feasting on each other, because maybe there was no way to get out. If they failed at this attempt here, what's the point of living? If they failed escaping the underground, what's the point in resolving the issue if he has lost his will to live? Game theory.
Your Majesty?
Oh. Contact me with the royal scientists immediately.
Yes, in a minute.
some symbols I can try. You're not gonna like this, but I can try. I can try my hardest. It's not working. Maybe the comment section. Winding trends. Oh! Okay, you know what? We're gonna read this right now. So we have, the windings from 4 minutes and the windings from 15 minutes. They didn't realize they made a death sentence for themselves when they started this project. If the process of sending magic through the core straight into the barrier would have went perfectly, it would still have ended in disaster because the core and especially the pipes weren't built for this kind of pressure they wanted to put inside the core. You know what's the most funny thing about this whole situation? When monsters were sealed under the mountain, they obviously had no core. Not only that, but they were sealed underground. They eventually faced their process of evolution when their bodies and behaviors changed, but it didn't bring any negative effects. It made them more agile, and they could survive without food or water for much longer than before. The same thing happened with them again. When the core exploded, the main problem was that the monsters became too spoiled, and all the technology and privileges they had, and their ancestors could not even dream about. The newer generation became too carefree, too sensitive, too dependent on their creations. Monsters in the days that didn't have electricity were just living just fine. Meanwhile, for the new generation, it was, for example, a temporary power outage or internet outage if they would have internet back then. The whole underground would have drowned in hysteria, only worsening the situation. Monsters doomed themselves by trying to live more comfortably. So, evolving past primal beings basically doomed the monsters from the get-go. Evolution doomed all of them. I can imagine the reverse speech is probably just Gaster reading this up here. Brother, I require oats, brother. 3.5 weeks after the explosion in the Royal Lab.
Oh, Your Majesty. Welcome back. I just finished the statistics of civilian casualties. 1.5 weeks after you organized the evacuation of Hotlanders to the refugee camps in the outskirts of Hotland, the casualties decreased by 40%. I know it's not as good as 80%, for example, but still good, right?
I know that smaller percent isn't as good as bigger percent, but...
That's wonderful to hear.
There's more good news from me. The blueprints of the core were intact. That means we can use them to rebuild the core instead of trying to build it from memories and photos.
That's fantastic. Didn't expect to hear 2 good news in a row, especially during such a difficult time for all of us.
Right. Anyway, I made some cup noodles for us. Would you like some?
Cute.
Sure. Thank you.
It's dry. No water, no nothing. Eat it straight out of the packet. So what now? What now? We're basically back to a month again.
How is your family?
Oh, they've been, well, not bad, but
yeah, they lost Chara.
Better.
They lost Chara.
Toriel is acting weird, but Asriel has been doing just fine. He stays at home more often than usual for obvious reasons, but other than that, he's been fine.
What do you mean by Toriel acting weird?
She's hungry.
Well, since the explosion, she has been acting strange. By, for example, not eating much. I mean, I know and understand the current situation, but we still have enough food and water for our family. But she either gives most of the food supplies to Asriel,
I mean, that makes sense.
Too much than needed, or she simply refuses to eat. She's saying stuff like, I can't look at the food and eat it while there are starving people out there. I told her that
she's an empath,
right? The food and water supplies are getting sent to those who are in need, but she just simply refuses to listen. She says that she won't eat a crumb until I will give enough food to every living soul in the underground.
She's definitely an empath, 100%.
She doesn't do anything. She just belittles me and complains about me not doing the things she thinks are right. She really wants to act as some sort of a hero by pretty much starving herself and, like I said, at the same time, not doing anything useful. I just hope that everything will get better soon.
I'm sure everything will be fine. Maybe Her Majesty is
subtle foreshadowing.
And might say and do
I'm sure everything would be fine, and then 1 week later, Toriel is eating Asriel like.
Really emotional for as long as I remember, so maybe it will eventually fade away.
I'm sure of that.
Thank you, Doctor. Genuinely. I really appreciate your kind words.
Do you want to take some of the noodles so that your family can have some too?
Oh, that's sweet.
Sure.
That's sweet.
Oh, I don't know about Toriel, since she will most likely refuse so that she can pretend to be a poor, starving civilian. But Asriel and Asriel might enjoy them a lot.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll give some for your family.
Thank you. I will always appreciate your help.
Don't mind it. I should thank you for always coming here and helping me and other people to organize nationwide aid.
I'm just giving orders and listen to your advices. Nothing else.
I'm still thankful to you for simply coming here and at least trying to fix the situation.
You're always welcome, Doctor.
One month after. So this is when Toriel went ballistic. This is when she kind of went a little bit cray-cray. She got a little bit too hungry. She got a little bit too hungry, chat. What is that noise? What was that noise? Is Dad back? Oh, wait, we're seeing it from Asriel's point of view. I missed him. He's been at work for so long. We're seeing it from his point of view. Mom? Oh. Mom? Ah! The Queen ate her own child by Mr. Fox. On the blank of May 1973, approximately at 4 a.m., it has been reported that Her Majesty Queen Toriel committed an act of murder and cannibalism of her own child, Prince Asriel. His Majesty King Asgore found his wife and their son in their son's bedroom, sitting in front of a half-mauled corpse. Oh, I don't like the screaming. You have screaming in the background. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So that's 6 hours after, right?
Your Majesty! Your Majesty!
Doctor.
Your
He does
Majesty,
not.
I'm so
Why does he kind of look like Wendigoon? Why does Asgore kind of look like Wendigoon? Like, no shit. Like, not even joking.
sorry for what happened. What should we do? What can I do for you?
There's no need for you to do anything. You have already done so much.
You're gonna eat Asriel, right? Or you're gonna eat
Where
Elphys.
are you going?
I'm going away. As far as I can. I don't want to look around. I don't want to look at what have I done. It's all my fault. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened.
Wait!
Thank you so
So
much.
he was just a loser. He was.
For everything.
Oh, it's gonna be Doki Doki Literature Club all over again.
Your Majesty, you can't leave me here!
About 1.5 months after the explosion. That's the cavers, isn't it?
Number 17.
No. Oh,
It's been 2.5 weeks.
this is all of the entries underground where you see the different experiments, the different bits, the amalgamations.
Former king has locked himself in the throne room and refuses to get out of there. The queen was sent to life in prison of the new capital, far away in the most western part of the underground. After the king left us, everything went downhill. I heard that the new capital is in chaos because of the heavy restrictions of literally everything.
Yeah.
Electricity, water, food, everything is very limited. The reason for it is that the city is located far away from the old capital and other major cities, making the aid transportation to the new capital much more difficult. And what's worse is that the new capital doesn't have enough facilities or factories to produce vital supplies. Like, for example, electricity. The city has always been dependent on foreign aid and supplies. The people there are protesting and committing violent riots, making the city the most dangerous place in the underground. Snowdin, meanwhile, is suffering the same thing as the new capital. The lack of food and electricity led to massive famine and unrest in the region. Waterfall isn't having a great time either.
No water?
They don't have water problems. 50% of the territory in Hotland became uninhabitable because of the explosions and wildfires that happened about a month ago. The whole underground is in turmoil. We have no leader to follow, no plans, no ideas what to do. I mean, they have some ideas, but it's unlikely that they might work. I don't know what to do. I don't know anymore. I just want everything to end.
Oh, god damn. Rest in peace, Alphys. They probably... Aw, this is so sad. In the Waterfall region, specifically in the administrative capital of the region, a meeting between the former Waterfall Royal Army was held. Since the king who was in command of all the army in every region resigned, there was no one to command the army. As a result, the most powerful, influential general of all time, Waterfall military, General Undyne, was elected as the leader of the army. General Undyne was furious with the resignation of the king, believing that Asgore betrayed his own people. Which he did! Which he 100% did! He wasn't smart enough to make the right move. Under the command, the Monsterkind Revolutionary Army of the MRA was formed. Monsterkind Revolutionary Army. Spear of Justice. The goal of the MRA was to organize a coup against the remaining monarchist government located in the old capital and to establish a new state where monsters would never go hungry again. At least that's what the military promised to the people. So what was their actual purpose? The Waterfall, under the control of the military, declared independence from the kingdom, establishing the Monsterkind democratic state. It was the beginning of the underground civil. Everything is just going to shit now, dude. The MRA quickly advanced through Hotland, massacring the armies that were still loyal to the king. When they reached the old capital, brutal street battles began across the city, which led to even more casualties and destructions that the city has never seen before. After hours of fighting, the MRA broke through the security to the royal castle and raided it. General Undyne was straight forward to the throne room where Asgore was. Asgore, get out of there and face me, you traitor! You left us to rot! You abandoned us! Get out of there and face me. There you are! Prepare yourself! Who died? After a while, General Undyne was thrown out of the throne room with heavy injuries. The MRA was forced to retreat. The underground civil war ended, and both sides achieving nothing but more destruction and casualties.
It's dark like in a void. How unfortunate that it all came to this. No one is really interested in my shows anymore, because only a small percentage of people have access to still somehow working TV nowadays. Anyway, there is no time for me to be sad and all that. I gotta check Dr. Alphys. I haven't seen her at all today.
Oh, no, I don't think she's I don't think she's with us anymore. That looks like a Roblox map almost.
Alphys, darling, you need to leave your room at least once every day.
Doki doki.
You know you can't be there forever.
Doki doki, she's hanging.
There's still plenty of canned food left.
She's hanging.
And I know that you can't live without eating at least one can per day.
She's hanging. She's hanging.
Alphys.
She's hanging. She's hanging. She's hanging. She's hanging. She's. Abandoned me to rot in this hellhole alone. Why? 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 I'm sorry. Evolution of monsters throughout the years. Oh god, fuck, man. God, I love Timmy. Timmy is, oh, don't cannibalize Timmy, like, don't turn Timmy into a monster. I love Timmy. I love Timmy. I love Timmy. Don't, no. Please don't turn Timmy into a monster. Why does she look like Jeff's the killer? I am going to Jeff's to kill you. She literally turned into... Oh, there's not gonna be a stage 4, is there? She's Godzilla! She's copyright Godzilla. Wait, so that's basically current year when Frisk falls down, right? We're in year 2000 now. Oh no. They killed my fate. Holy moly. That was amazing. That was amazing. Oh my god. I wish that they went a little bit deeper into it in terms of like the cannibalism side and the war kind of side. I want to like see just a tiny little bit more because I feel like giving constructive criticism, I really liked it, but I feel like there was a lot more focus on lore than the scary, right? If I could get like, god damn. That was good. That was good. It was more sad than scary. It was more, there was more story than there was, spook. What I wished for is if they, like, went through different scenarios where you could see, like, you know, how does Waterfall look after the reactor? You know, stories about Hotland and creatures surviving. Maybe, maybe Flowey? I don't know. Flowey is not gonna appear because Asriel got eaten by Mom. The cannibalism part, they could have like dove deeper into that, and I feel like it would have been like really interesting. The war basically just came and went. The war was like a 30-second segment, and I feel like we could also have gotten way deeper into that, so we could like see before the war, how the war happened, and then the aftermath. I wanted it to be like a little bit more creepy. The story was amazing. I know that they're taking a break right now. We do have one more episode that I want to check. There is extras, his speech, and then we also have a something bounce from the grave that we're gonna check out. But before we do that, I know that they're on a break right now. They're talking about burnout and, you know, wanting to make the next episode as good as possible. I'm pretty sure that they're making like a season 2 as of right now. So I hope that they like explore those avenues a little bit more in terms of like exploring the deeper, darker sides of the war, or the deeper, darker sides of, you know, how it is living in fear that either you eat or you're the one who gets eaten. I really hope that. We're gonna check out his speech, and then we're gonna check out Bond's, and that is basically it, guys. As always, check out Dr. Flying Fish. They definitely deserve... The video we watched before only had like 50k views. They deserve all the views that they can get. They deserve the views and the support and everything. Let's go for his speech real quick and see what this is all about.
You know what's the most funny thing about this whole situation? When the monsters were just sealed under the mountain, they obviously had no more. Not only that, but when they were sealed underground, they eventually faced a process of evolution, when their bodies and behavior changed. But it didn't bring them any negative effects. Actually, it was quite the opposite. It made them more agile, and they could survive without food or water for much longer.
That's the copy-paste from the previous one. The
same thing would have happened with them again when the core exploded. But the main problem was that the monsters became too spoiled with all
it's the copy-paste from Gaster.
privileges they had that their ancestors could not even dream about. The newer generation became too carefree, too sensitive, too dependent on their own creations. Monsters back in the days didn't have electricity and were living just fine. Meanwhile, for the new generation, if there was, for example, a temporary power outage or an internet outage, if they would even have internet back then, the whole underground would have drowned in hysteria, only worsening the situation.
Sade, is that Gaster? Yo, buddy.
Monsters doomed themselves by trying to live more comfortable lives.
I wouldn't say it that way. It was a series of unfortunate events. I wouldn't say it that way. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I want to say it was a series of unfortunate events. The fact that the second in command messed up and the fact that Gaster didn't act... Get out of the void. I wouldn't put it that way. I'm gonna say that Gaster is a little bit deranged, a little bit like mentally messed up. It isn't because the monsters lived a too comfortable life or they got too comfortable. You could say the same with humanity right now. The problem was that they didn't future-proof themselves. They didn't make a second reactor. They didn't make another core. They didn't make a safety net from themselves. And then the fact that the second in command didn't seal off the other elements, and that Asgore was just passive and didn't do his job was also the biggest problem. That was absolutely fantastic. I like that. Like I mentioned, I feel like we could dive deeper into like different aspects of it. You know, the war came and went, the thing about capitalism, the thing about cannibalism. We only saw it like twice in the entire analog horror. So I feel like if there is a sequel or if they make more episodes, we can dive deeper into like the horrifying aspects, like people surviving after the reaction, people surviving in like, you know, the Hotlands area, how it has affected different characters and so on. I feel like there's a lot of aspects that you can build on and make this entirely super creepy. So Like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure they're on like an hiatus or a break right now. But when they return, I am excited to see what they deliver. But with that said, be sure to check out the creator. Be sure to check out Dr. Flying Fish. They are linked in the description. Give them a like, give them a watch, subscribe to their channel so they can get all the support that they absolutely deserve. And with that said, I want to say thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, and with that said, I will head out.
Bruh. ¿Quieres?